Hey y'all, happy Thursday. Had to remember what day it was all of a sudden. Anyway, how's your week been? How are you? First thing I want to ask you, have you implemented any of the metabolism boosters that we talked about earlier in the week? Have you done any of those? Have you added strength or weight training or resistant training to your cardio? Are you moving at all? Have you thought, okay, well, I don't need to skip breakfast or skip a meal this week? Are you eating more? Are you reading food labels a little bit better to look at your nutrient-dense carbs? So let me know. I want to know if you are putting into action any of those metabolism boosters that we talked about earlier in the week. Welcome to our new peeps, to our new friends, our new ladies. I'm so excited to have you. For those of you who are new or don't know me, my name is Sam. I'm from over at Team Sam Fitness. I am passionate about teaching women, specifically over 40, how to get fit, stay fit, cut out all the fad dieting, learn how to make healthy living a new normal. But more importantly than just losing the weight and getting healthy is learning how to keep it off. Losing weight a lot of the times is the easy part. I mean, we've done that all of our adult life, right? But the more important part to that is being educated on how to keep it off. So that's kind of where I come in. It's not only teaching you how to lose weight the right way, because it's more about getting healthy from the inside out. The weight's going to come off, but it's also about educating you so you can keep the weight off and actually live that healthy, normal lifestyle again. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to talk about gluten and gluten sensitivities. The title of the video is, do you experience belly bloat, stomach bloating, other digestive issues? Okay, some of that could be IBS. It could be constipation, diarrhea, that sour stomach. Any of those specifically after eating grains or breads, you may experience that worse then, or you just may stay bloated or keep a sour stomach and have never really put two and two together on what could be causing it. You could just kind of keep that fullness feeling. So that's where gluten comes in. What is gluten? Gluten is a protein found in grains. And gluten is actually a Latin word, comes from the word glue, okay? And so think about that. That's exactly what gluten is. It's like a glue that holds it all together. It's a binder, okay? It's a protein, but it's also a binder that holds that together. So it's sticky, glue-like substance. So think about flour and water. Whenever you mix flour and water, what does that make? Paste. So that's exactly what's happening through your gut, through your digestion, is that gluten can paste it all up. Now, does science back this up? I can't answer that. I actually have had somebody to argue that with me, that it's not science. Gluten sensitivity is not science-based. There's no way gluten causes belly bloat. I've had somebody argue that with me. My response to that is, I don't care what the science says. I've seen it. I have seen it over the years and years of working with other women. I've experienced it myself. So my priority is, I've seen the symptoms. I've seen what gluten can do and what grains can do, containing gluten, to the digestive system. So that's just what I care about. It's just helping you eliminate that. Now, another thing that I've seen with gluten is not only those stomach issues and digestive issues, but I've seen skin rashes from gluten, like your psoriasis, eczema type problems. I have seen migraine headaches kind of associated with grains. And all this comes from tracking our food. All of this comes from, it's not guesswork. It's journaling. That's why journaling is so important. But tracking your food, we eliminate it for a while, and then slowly we'll start adding things back in, and that's whenever you'll notice a trigger, whether it be those migraines, the skin rashes like the eczema, psoriasis type deal, fatigue. I've seen chronic fatigue Inflammation. Gluten is very inflammatory causing. So I've seen a lot of inflammation problems as a result of gluten. That brain fog or lack of clarity. Okay, if any of those ring a bell, raise your hand if any of those ring a bell. But a lot of those can be tracked back to gluten. Okay, now, this is also different than celiac disease. Don't get it confused with celiac. Celiac disease is an actual medical diagnosis where they do lab work, blood work, or whatever to actually determine if you are missing an enzyme where your body literally and physically cannot break down gluten. So that's the difference. And a gluten sensitivity just means it may cause you some, unpleasant symptoms, but more so a celiac disease is an actual medical diagnosis where, that person cannot eat gluten at all because they're lacking that enzyme to digest it, and it can cause a lot of problems there, a lot of medical problems there. So does that mean you can't have gluten? If you're sensitive to gluten, does that mean you can't have it ever? Well, that's kind of how your body reacts to it, and it depends on how it makes you feel. I've kind of learned a little bit that I can tolerate some grains that contain gluten better than others. I've tried whole grain bread. It just depends. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. Tortillas, I think we've talked about that a little bit. I'll go with corn over flour for that reason. I've also switched to using almond flour. I don't bake a whole lot, but I do have some gluten-free like bread type recipes on the website, and I'll use almond flour. I really like the taste of it. It's gluten-free, and it's better for you. It's healthier. So that just kind of depends on you if you want to avoid gluten at all. Just play with that. I do recommend eliminating it for a while if you think it could be that you could be sensitive to gluten. I do recommend eliminating it for a while, at least a week, at least a 7-day cleanse. I've had people eliminate it for about 6 weeks before, 4 to 6 weeks for sure. And then sure enough, whenever they start adding those grains back in there, they do notice some issues, or some may be fine with it. But it can be hard to digest and cause those belly symptoms, and it can cause some weight gain, some pretty rapid weight gain too, especially if you've been off of it for a while and then you add it back in. So that's a little bit more about gluten. If you have any questions, the newsletter went out this past week to talk about gluten sensitivities and gluten intolerances. Make sure you're on that newsletter list. Sign up under the pinned post under the 21-day Tummy Tuck Challenge. Yeah, you're going to get some information about that. But it also just gets you on my newsletter list so you can get my newsletters and make sure you're not missing what I'm posting about. Next week, I'm posting about what to eat before and after a workout. Okay, so that's a pretty good article there. I get a lot of questions posed about that. Another thing I've got coming up is some specifics about clean eating and what does that mean and what does it mean actually. And I've got a free printable that will go out, like a little grocery shopping list and a menu plan. That's coming up there as well. So just make sure you're on that newsletter list so you're getting all that information and not missing it. The 21-day tummy tuck. We talk a lot more about gluten. Oh, my nose is itching. Does that mean I got company coming? So, but anyway, the Tummy Tuck Challenge, we do talk more about gluten, boosting your metabolism, all in that Tummy Tuck Challenge. We do eliminate gluten for the full 3 weeks. And it's strictly because we need to get clean out your gut. Remember, we talked earlier in the week about getting the junk out of your trunk and getting all that paste, okay? Because if you've been eating pizza, flour, chips, rice, any of those grain products, you could be, or let me back up. If you're eating all of that and you stay bloated, you could be gluten sensitive and not realize it. And a lot of people are and don't realize it because we eat it so much. So we never really put 2 and 2 together just because gluten is such a, it's high in our diet and, in our lifestyle every day. Do you know soy even has, soy sauce even has gluten in it? How crazy is that? Who would have thought? So there's a lot of things that has soy, and because we eat it so much, we don't really realize we're sensitive to it. But anyway, back to that tummy tuck challenge. We do eliminate it for 3 weeks to check for that. Okay, I want to clean out your gut, but also my purpose is to get you as healthy as you can be and to start educating you so you can start making healthier changes and keep going with it. So you can actually let it be a lifestyle. So that's my intent with that. I do hope you can join us on the 21-day tummy tuck challenge. Tomorrow is the last day for the bonus, and that bonus is a 4-week custom workout. That's a $50 value by itself. The tummy tuck challenge is not but $99. Whenever I sent out that survey, that's what a lot of you wanted, was something a little bit more shorter term and affordable, $100 or less. So that's what it's about, ladies. I want you to succeed. I'm your cheerleader. I want you to experience, living healthier. I want you to stop the madness, stop the dieting, get off the roller coaster. Is 3 weeks enough? Sometimes it is, depends on your goals. Sometimes it's not. So this 3 weeks is not necessarily meant to be, this is 3 weeks and we're done. It can be if that's all you need, and it could very well be enough, but it's also meant to be a jump start, a very good introduction to start showing you and teaching you and educating you on moving forward and progressing in your health and healthier habits and changing your lifestyle. And it's everything that you'll learn in that is what your family can do too. It's not where you'll necessarily have to cook one set of meal, and your family can eat something else, because it's all about eating real food and getting back to the basics. Hey, Janie, are you with me? Yeah. Hey, Janie. So that's what the Tummy Tuck Challenge is about. Tomorrow's the last day to sign up for the bonus. You'll find the link in the pinned post for more information on that, or if you're ready to join. I do hope to have you. You're going to get lots of fun stuff included with that. If y'all have any questions about metabolism that we've talked about this week, if you have any questions about gluten, y'all don't hesitate to let me know. Post your recipes. I do have some gluten-free recipes that I'll share with you over the course of the next couple of weeks. If I don't, y'all remind me, because if I don't write it down, I will forget it. But I do have some gluten-free recipes that I'll start sharing a little bit more with you. Or if you have some, Pinterest is a great thing. We don't have to recreate the wheel. Let's see what we can find on Pinterest. But y'all yell out to me if you have any questions about anything I can help you with. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll talk again next week.